Hey everybody, Jim and Eric here to talk about this weekend's big photo reveal of the Suicide Squad, our first in-depth look at the team in costume.
Yep.
Eric, initial thoughts, what do you think of it?
The 90s are back.
That's right.
That's my first thought. It's very 90s. It has this weird mixture of like 90s sort of new metal and Insane Clown Posse meets 90s comic book movies, honestly. It seems to almost come back to that time before we were embracing the comic book aesthetics a lot, because a lot of the characters, with a couple exceptions, are very dialed back and wearing, like, there's a lot of hoodies and track jackets and Letterman's jackets in that photo. So that was the odd thing to me about it.
You know what? I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cautiously optimistic about this. I just love Harley's look. She does look like a demented Hooters waitress. And I like Killer Croc. I like that he's a practical effect. I'm not quite sure why he feels the need to have to throw on a jacket. Maybe he's going to the movies after. He needs someplace to put his phone. I don't know. I think it's weird that in a shot with a crocodile skinned man, Katana, Harley Quinn, we're harping on things like Captain Boomerang in his look.
Because Captain Boomerang it's kind of that funny thing. It's got this weird, almost like, I know the character is Australian typically, but it's this almost like a Eurotrash look to him with the big gold chain.
Yeah.
And then he's got the duct tape around the boot. There's like this weird sort of
the tracksuit jacket.
Yeah, like grungy, druggy thing going on here.
Even he's very
Gaunt,
pale and dark circles.
So it's very odd. I mean, I can't say I saw this photo and I was like, yes! I'm still hopeful for the movie. I still think it could be a really cool movie, but it is weird. I almost had to think to myself, well, you know what? DC has barely touched any of their characters in movies, so they didn't go through that like 90s stage with most non-Superman Batman characters, so maybe now they're doing it, which isn't to say it'll be a bad movie, but it's just strange that we've gotten to the point of like costume superheroes, and this is dialing that back in such a notable way.
Yeah, I mean, although you say that, and yet Katana and Deadshot. Deadshot's got the white mask and everything.
I think that, but what makes it strange is that they're the ones who look out of place because the brunt of them are dressed. But it's a weird, interesting picture because we've got like three guys in kind of military garb, and then this like freak show. I mean, I made this joke online, but it's like, I feel like it's like Insane Clown Posse should do their theme song because it looks like this like group of like 90s, like if WWE fans might remember the Oddities, which was like a wrestling stable, came out to a Insane Clown Posse song, and that's what I feel like they should come out to.
Well, we have Slipknot at the end. I mean, you were joking that he's got ropes all over him. Like, isn't that a great way to just end up killing yourself? It's like maybe that's his thing.
Maybe it is. And let's go back to Harley though, because I will say she does look good, right?
Yeah,
and it's not like if I was to say like what I want Harley Quinn in a movie to look like, it'd be more classic Harley, but she's still like, look, it's Margot Robbie, she's always gonna look pretty good.
Yeah.
But looking at that, I think the performance is gonna be really fun. The cotton candy pigtails, because you can't really see in that photo, but one is pink, the other is blue.
Yep.
The sort of roller derby look, which is actually somewhat in the comic books
and
right now.
She does have the big baseball bat. We saw in some of the set photos. Let's talk about one particular aspect of her design, which is she has tattoos.
Yeah.
So for everyone continuing,
and Diablo does too.
And
this
Diablo,
is the tattoo spot.
this is some serious ink. This is like they just came off of Melrose in LA. Right. It's a very LA joke. But they have, her tattoos are upside down, which means she did them herself.
Yeah.
Could she have maybe? And Joshua Yale was actually kind of offering up this theory before we came on camera, but like, could she have been the one maybe tattooing Joker?
Oh, I think that's certainly possible. I mean, we wonder how much they'll take from the canon, the comics of her as like a psychiatrist with like a hero worship who like fell in love with a patient. So he could have been, catatonic. And,
she was just writing on him.
And,
I can only imagine what he says when he wakes up. Like, seriously?
I would never.
I'm more subtle than that.
Yeah.
What about any other particular characters? Let's talk about Enchantress.
Because she is weird looking.
Yeah, man. It's like she walked right out of like, it looks like she slithered out of a swamp.
I mean, I've seen people mention like she looks like she's from The Ring or The Grudge.
Yeah.
Our video producer, Kyle Watson, mentioned she looks a little bit like the Christina Aguilera Dirty video. It's this weird like swamp creature thing.
Kind of like, well, ironically enough,
Yeah.
something you would have seen on American Horror Story.
Yeah, it's a very
seasons past.
motley crew, which I'm guessing is the theme of the movie, right? Like, this is a weird group to put together, but you look at
You
that
didn't mean the
picture,
actual heavy metal
it's
Motley
not
Crue.
Motley Crue because it's not 80s band.
Yeah,
it's
they don't.
90s band.
Although her
They're
hair
both-
is kind of, I could have seen
Yeah,
that back in the day.
yeah.
Now let's see, who else is there? Rick Flag, the most normal looking one of them.
Right, and that's what stands out,
Are
right?
you bummed that he doesn't have his yellow orangey shirt? I'm a little bummed.
Yeah, although I guess at this point he'd be such an outlier with that. Yeah, Rick Flag looks like the guy who's least addicted to drugs.
Yeah, and most certain to die probably
Yeah,
within
probably
the
most
first
certain to
reel.
die. Because like you said, Deadshot he's got the colorful, the red. We've seen the mask. So he definitely, along with Katana,
he looks like the comic book
taking
character.
the comic book thing. But Rick Flag, it is, again, you're kind of trying to predict the movie. You're like, oh, will it be this like straight-laced military guy with the, like, how does he's running an insane asylum of a team.
Well, I just love, too, he has an American flag, and then his name is Flag, so it's right underneath. It's like Flag.
Yeah.
It'd be like if your last name was Door and you had a picture of a door.
El Diablo has Diablo on his Letterman's jacket.
All right, so let's talk about his look. That's the one character that kind of jumped out at me as like, I'm not really, don't know if I like that look.
It's just the weird, it seems very hodgepodge, right? Which
Yeah.
again, maybe that'll be in the script that it's supposed to be, but he's wearing Letterman's jacket, his face is all tattooed. It's like, what? Like, how did that happen? Like those, even the two things I just said don't seem to match one character. So.
Yeah, and then I'd have to say probably, Katana also having this very comic booky kind of look to her. Like, why do you have the mask? If you're like, what do you need the mask for? I get it in comic books why you do it, but like when everybody else is either tattooed or just showing their face,
right?
Why the little white mask?
And I mean, of course, this is the Suicide Squad, so we don't know how much these people are going to be on screen and who might die.
Yeah, I seriously think some of these guys are dead by the 25-minute mark, so this might be much ado about nothing.
Right.
But we want to know what you think of the Suicide Squad photo, their costumes, their look. We're really curious how this one is going to play out.
Yeah.
But so far, I got a thumbs up. Mostly for Harley Quinn.
Yeah, it's dialed back my expectations. But you were saying earlier, absolutely, it's right to not say this movie will be good or bad based on even just costumes in general.
Just remember Quicksilver, Days of Future Past.
Yeah, it was a highlight of that movie, a great movie, and that was a highlight character. So this does not excite me on its own. I'm still hopeful for the movie.
Yep. All right. So again, let us know what you think in the comments below. And for all things Suicide Squad, DC Comics, Batman, all that jazz, keep it here on IGN.